Hey guys, welcome in. Oh, fuck, that's embarrassing. Welcome in, everyone. How are you going? It's time to do the most important part of today, which is roll the dice for BK facing off against Golden Crown. A special treat today is that we have all of the maps available. So, 3, 2, 1... We are on map number 12, and that means that we are going to be Rex versus Liwa clear late afternoon. I loaded in with the accidental reveal. Yeah, my bad. Don't tell anyone what you just saw. Let's switch the mission. So it's Rex versus Liwa. Mission number 3. I completely forgot about that. Please don't clip that. Okay, and load up the map. Other than that, there are 2 more coin flips to have to do. Which is to say that 1 for ECM and 1 for the starting side. BK has picked heads, so for the first dice roll, which is for ECM, 3, 2, 1, means no ECM. And then for the second dice roll, for starting side, 3, 2, 1, go. And BK wins for starting side. I'll pass on that information. All right. And I'll double check that I've got all of my information correctly. So, Rex versus Liwa. This ought to be a good one. Here's the map. We are in the Persian Gulf. BK from Russia and Belarus facing off against GC, who are hailing all the way from Iran. Let's make sure I've got my volume levels okay. How are you guys going? Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in, Hex, Shorty Guns, Boris, good to see you, Night Assassin, GCPS, MNE, good to see you, Generic, good to see you. Hey Mojo, hey Knight, Totem, good to see you. Welcome in, everyone. Okie dokie. So, Ras versus Liwa. Relatively flat terrain, dominated down the center with the city of Dubai. So let's have a look. I'm not in the right slot, which is why I can't see anything. There we go. That's better. My heart rate has completely spiked. I feel so bad about that. Right. So, over here we have the magnificent Burj Khalifa, and if we have a look, we can just quickly check. Okay, Tom Cruise isn't up here today, but sometimes if you get your timing right, you might catch him up there. The tallest building in the world, and in this instance, probably the only bit of cover that you could potentially have against Fox 3s in this terrain. Otherwise, it is flat as a board. It is 5 p.m. and it is near Christmas time for this map, and the weather outside is 15 degrees Celsius. With negligible winds. BK picks the red side and, of course, as you might expect, show up in gorgeous J11s. Thank you, Slimy Puddle. So J11's painted to look like Their Su-2735 cousins. I love the black accent around the canopy. That looks absolutely gorgeous. Of course, this team hailing from Russia and Belarus, they have an eclectic collection of flags on their tails. The J11 heavy team is going to be interesting as we see the vertical stabilizers pop up and down. I don't know why it does that on startup if you look at an Su-27 from far away. Either way, for BK, we have Yoji1K, Yoj1K. If someone knows how this is pronounced correctly, please let me know. Yoj1K, Batove, IAK, FFCMF, and Lex. Okay, we're going to have to decide what to call these guys. So I'm going to call Lex. I'm going to call CMF, CMF. I'm going to call IAK, IAK. I'm going to call Batovi, and Yoj1K. And if that is incorrect, and if you know the proper way to pronounce these names, let me know, and I'll fix myself up. Meanwhile, on the blue team, we have Shadow, Sting, Echo, Nightjar, Juicy, and Helldog. 2 F-15Cs and 4 F-16Cs. In the beautiful liveries of the Iranian Air Force. Jojic, maybe? Maybe. Sting, of course, with their own custom livery. And the legendary Prince, emblazoned with an Iranian hero on the tail. Alright, Night Rose. Have a good day, and thank you for letting me join your stream for a little while yesterday. Sorry I had to disappear. My internet cut out yesterday, and I raised all hell with my internet service provider this morning. I said, what are you guys doing? I pay for internet. Why are you guys making my internet slow? Why can't I need to stream today. I need to go live today. What are you guys doing about my internet? And he messaged me back very politely and said, hello, your card has expired. Can you please pay your bill? And I was like, okay, I'll do that. It'll be interesting. J11s facing off against F15s and F16s. This one is going to be well worth a watch. Let's have a look at the loadouts they're bringing. Members of BK did want to bring ECM, but they lost the coin flip. So, those pylons are being dedicated for extra R73s. These J11s also carrying SD-10s, the go-to long-range missile. On the wingtips, you of course get the R27 ET and ER. Who can tell me how to tell the difference between an ET and an ER when it comes to R27 missiles? Enormous amounts of national pride for both teams. As they make their way down to the runway with no time to waste. That's right, Hex, it's a seek ahead. But which one's which? Red round tip ET. Well done, Slimy Puddle, you know. Tell me the difference between an E and a non-E variant. Extended range, isn't it? has a larger rocket motor. At least I think that was what it was. They are lined up. Gurza, Yogic, Batovi, IAK, and FFCMF with Lex at the rear. Making their way over to the runway, Helldog is leading the way, followed by Juicy. Behind them, Sting, Shadow, Nightjar, Falcon, and Echo. The F-15's leading the way. The visual difference? That's a good question, actually. Hex, I don't know. Is the booster on the back physically larger? Hello, Neon Mage. Welcome in to today's SATAC match. You're just in time for things to get kicked off, as everyone has shown up on time and expertly dressed on a rare match that's taking place on the Persian Gulf. I'd highly appreciate it if you guys can share this match with all of your friends. I would love to have everyone here to watch this one, because this is going to be a good match. So if you feel like helping me out, you can interact with my going live tweet, where the Belarusian and Iranian flags for some reason turned into cameras when I posted it. Hello Gator, welcome in, thank you for the lurk. Helldog makes their way onto the runway, and the F-16s follow. BK takeoff is always in style. Well, we'll have to see. Shall we watch BK for this first takeoff? We'll watch Golden Crown for the second takeoff. There is wake turbulence, of course. Hopefully they realise that. Right. Uh-oh. Looks like we've lost Shadow, so we were... Fortunately, the Su-27 can refuel with its engines on, so... F-16s are so good looking aircraft. The whole body is a bit elongated on the ERs and AFAC. The booster is a bit wider. Yeah, I thought that was the case. They're a little bit thicker and chunkier. Don't worry, Generic, we'll watch the Eagles next time. True both for the ER and the ET. Excellent. Alright, how are the Golden Crownians going? Looks like they're all good. They're just waiting on for their last man. Shadow, unfortunately, had a bit of a disconnection. That's okay. The only thing is, of course, that if getting ready takes a little bit too long, then it does start to get a little bit dark. Fortunately, you don't have the Caucasus Mountains or many clouds to worry about. Which we had EPs? What's an EP, Hex? I'm gonna guess that it's anti-radiation, but I don't know. Or maybe active, seek ahead. Maybe the R27EA is anti-radiation and EP is active. ARM R27. It's an eclectic design, isn't it? Let's have a look at it, actually. I've always thought it was strange that they have these massive fins on the side that you don't really see in too many other missiles. EP, oh my god, damn it. That got me short of guns. I'm annoyed by that. Let me know how the volumes are, if the game's too loud, if the music's too quiet or anything like that, or if I'm not noisy enough. Okay, they are ready. Roger. All right. Okay, both teams ready. Get set. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, go, go. And there we have it. We'll watch the first two members of BK begin their journey down the runway. Hex, could you do me a favour and just have a look through the clips and make sure that no one has clipped my inopportune moment? BK takes off in smooth and quick succession, and in beautiful formation. B-E-A beautiful. BK aiming for the sunset as FF-CMF takes off with Lex following closely behind. Juicy and Helldog are in the skies as well, silhouetted beautifully. Thank you, Hex. They've managed to find the only cloud in the Persian Gulf so far. No clips past 24 hours, thank you. Unless... well, it's not sandstorming at the moment, is it? No, it's just hazy. That haze actually will have a not insignificant impact on visibility. The F-15's wasting no time, passing through 24,000 feet in close formation. The J-11's staying low. In their pairs, heading straight down the barrel. Thank you for the follow, Seraphim 51 DCS. So BK not seeming to feel much urgency about approaching the zone at all. Handily just keeping up to 12,000 feet. The second group is just past 10k. Okay, Tafu, welcome in. Thank you for letting me know. You can't ask for some better visuals. The F-15s are about to get into the zone. The fuel in air quotes gauge stresses you out. That's fine. Wow. Juicy and Helldog are at 40,000 feet as they enter the zone. They have afterburned their whole way in. They will have a massive altitude advantage against the members of BK, who are at low altitude so far. Gerza and Yogic are making their way up to 20,000 feet, though, not afterburning just yet. And as I say that, they accelerate to attack speed. I feel like I need to get kickbacks from Equal Dynamics for how many MiG-21s I've sold. BK separates out. Gerza and his wingman, Yogic, enter the circle at 25,000 feet and afterburning. Batov leads the second group. Juicy and Helldog settling out at 44,000 feet approximately at the moment and going for speed. Keep your eyes open for the manual loft that you can expect them to add to these missiles. Echo, Falcon, Nightjar, and Sting following quite far behind, but they have taken the time to climb to very high altitude. All of them are at above 30,000 feet, and Echo and Sting are above 35, without having had even entered the circle. Meanwhile, the other two groups, which is FFCMF and Lex in the north, or west in this instance, IAK and Batove in the east. I'm so used to casting matches on the Caucasus, I'm so excited. I would love for the fight to get down into the central business district. And of course, let's do a quick poll. I'll only give it a minute. So, there will be a poll up on your screen. That will appear for 3 minutes for round 1. Is it BK or GC you're here to support? Hopefully that poll ends before the match ends. No missiles in the sky just yet. Juicy and Helldog beginning a few defensive maneuvers here, just in case there was something coming, but it doesn't look like it just yet. The NATO jets are using a Russian ingress and the Russian planes using a NATO ingress. That is a very interesting point. There is a... If I had to describe a meta at the moment, and I don't think there is a meta, but baiting out early missile shots is really commonplace at the moment. What map is this? This is Persian Gulf, RAS versus Liwa. Clear afternoon. It's 18 degrees outside, with a little bit of haze. And otherwise, we can expect the sun to set in about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on which side of the map you are on. And in fact, look at the skylines of Dubai, just over the shoulder of the BK Su-27, or J-11 in this case. The Burj Khalifa just peeking out in the background. The lights of Dubai are now all fully lit, and there are no missiles in the sky just yet, but the two F-15s are progressing in. Both teams have agreed to no ECM. No ECM for this match. The first missile goes off the lead F-15. Juicy fires towards Gerza, who has fired an SD-10 in return. Let's see where these missiles go. Hopefully this SD-10 manages to arc itself back down. If the lock gets broken too early, SD-10s can keep this nose-up attitude and just never lock onto anything with their seeker heads. The AIM-120 tends to curve its arc just down a little bit faster, mainly because they can't loft when there's jamming in use, but there is no jamming in use here. So two SD-10s heading south and two AIM-120s heading north Juicy and Helldog, they take the first shots of the match. Hopefully Juicy isn't flying straight into this SD-10, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. This missile has the length, the strength, and the power to take out Juicy, but it got stuck in that upwards attitude, and its seek ahead is not going to find him, even though it had all the energy in the world to do it. What about Helldog? Helldog's missile has successfully curved back down to Earth, and Helldog's going to have to defend that one pretty enthusiastically. Lex has got an AIM-120 to contend with, and so does FFCMF. Helldog turning cold against the missile now and dropping down to 15,000 feet. 10,000 feet, 9,000 feet, 8,000 feet, 7, 6. Make sure it doesn't crash into the ground. That's a speedy plane, and it looks like BK are the favourites for this match. Juicy's got another SD-10 to contend with. The AIM-120s chasing down their attached targets. FFCMF manages to beat this one through pure kinetics and managing to maintain their altitude. This SD-10 is now at 105,000 feet. More SD-10s going in all directions. Hey Mike, stupid. Competitive plane bonking goes well. Tafu, no one will criticize you on a PvE server for having a go. They'll tell you how serious they want you to take it in their server information. But anyone on a 4YA server would just be grateful to have another helicopter to play with and not concerned about whether or not you've got all the right credentials. Another SD-10 goes straight over the top of an F-15. My screen flashes black for some reason. These SD-10s, that's the thing. If they arc up, they'll just stay arced up forever, and this one is going to space. The only thing that could possibly happen is that it arcs downwards and goes ballistic. Meanwhile, Juicy is making sure that everyone who replaces windows in downtown Dubai has plenty of business for the next few months, as everyone's windows get shattered by the F-15. Gerza fires another one at Echo, this one at 27,000 feet. Echo is turning cold and is at 10,000 feet, should not have too much trouble getting away from this. Yogic firing back at Nightjar, who's fired at them. 2 AMRAMs spent for Nightjar so far. Thank you very much, Max Stupid. I appreciate that. Make sure that you join in on the matches that we do with each other in the Discord. This missile is the first one I've seen so far with a decent PK. If it switches target over to Lex, it could be trouble. But if it stays chasing Yogic, then it should be fine. But it might have switched over to Lex. No, it hasn't. Lex passes underneath the tip of the missile. It is locked firmly onto Yogic. Look at how threatening it would have been if it switched targets, though. Would have got him easily. It's a 6v6 still, with no splashes so far. Thank you for the follow, Tony the Captain. Some poor alien tourist is going to get whacked by that SD-10. Well, we'll see, as BK starts defending over the first palm frond. Yes, the missile economy seems fine. Let's see what people have. Tove still has 4 SD-10s. FFCMF has 3. Gerza down to 2. Jojic has 2. Lex has 3. Meanwhile, let's check the F-15s. Helldog has 1 AMRAM left and 2 Sparrows. Juicy has 3 AMRAMs left. No, two AMRAMs left. And the F-16s we'll have a look at in a second, as FFCMF fires an R-27. This one looks like it might be an ET. No warning's going to be coming. No radar warnings are going to be coming, so you have to dump out some flares. That being said, it looks like the track is bad, as this missile fails to detect the big old F-15 in front of it. Tove follows up with an SD-10. This one going straight for Josie, who's going to have to defend with all their might away from this one. 4,000 feet. He's going to have to get right down on the deck for this one, and it looks like he's actually might have managed it. We'll stick with this missile. He fired an AIM-122. That one hits the ground. What about the AIM-120 fired in response? Looks like it's out of speed. No dice. The battle's getting close. FFCMF with a 9 nautical mile SD-10 shot towards Helldog. Close range shots between Batove and Echo at about 9 nautical miles as well. Helldog might have been caught too high up here. This missile with a lot of potential, but he's putting it right on its gimbal limit and it goes straight into the terrain. The AIM-120 fired in return, no effect. What about the SD-10 fired towards Echo? Echo is fully cold against it. And Echo has crashed into terrain. Evading this missile, Echo has just crashed just over the top of it there. Controlled flight into terrain. AIM-120 is being traded, so the first kill is a maneuver kill. Falcon and IAK contending with the battle, but IAK potentially caught it much too high in altitude here as this missile goes ballistic. But it loses lock, and IAK is getting away. Juicy and Sting. This is top-level DCS, guys. It does not get better than this. This is so good. But Tovi and Juicy are trading missiles in both directions, so, you know, this is fantastic. I've got such a smile on my face. FFCMF, 4,000 feet and pushing. It might work out in the favor of the J-11s that they weren't allowed to bring ECM because they'll have those 2 extra R-73s for the fight if it does get close. An R-27 goes out towards Helldog, and this one is radar-guided. Can radar-guided missiles still be relevant in a Fox 3 age? We're about to find out. Doesn't look like it has the steam to make it. And it looks like we have lost another member of GC. We'll have to check which one that was, as Nightjar defends against this one. No crashing planes, so it looks like it's just a 5. Okay, it was the Echo crash that cost them, I thought I counted 4. Lex having to contend with an AIM-120. Real estate prices in Dubai are about to go down by quite a lot. Lex starts defending the missile with gusto, and it doesn't switch targets over CMF. This is a knife fight in every sense of the word. Looks like it's all going to go down just over this port. FFCMF climbing just as high as they dare to fire off another SD-10. R-27 fired at Nightjar as well. It's an ET though, and he'll probably be launching countermeasures to evade that SD-10 anyway, so it's going for the sky. Not good effectiveness out of their R-27s so far. Looks like Nightjar has energy needed to get away from this one as Falcon. Looks like they've crested just high enough to try and take a shot at the 20,000 foot VK member. That is IAK. IAK may have potentially been caught at too high an altitude here. Let's see if he can evade this. Mark Stupid, if you think these are the most expensive fireworks that have happened in Dubai, I think you'd be kidding. Lex takes out Helldog in the north. Let's see if we can see. Nope. Alright. I'll check that one on TAC view. It's now a 4v6 as FFCMF is committing into the fight, has 1 SD-10 left. Goes over the top. No launch. SD-10 going out towards Nightjar, who's at 6,000 feet. Can he pull it low enough to go into the terrain? Nightjar needs to go lower. It's going to be close. Nightjar manages to get it into a tree by the skin of his teeth. R-27's being launched in all directions. This one's radar guided, but has no track. AIM-120's coming out from Sting towards Yogic. And it looks like Sting is all out of AMRAAMs. It's going down to Fox 2 missiles. an expert demonstration of defense. Some of the best pilots we have in DCS, Sting, Falcon, Nightjar, Juicy, all these guys are experts, and all the BK members are at the top of their game too. An R27 ET has been launched, but these things need to be locked on before they actually find anything. They will not find anything in flight, and it has not found anything in flight. It is not going for Juicy. But it is going to fly right over the top of him. Could have been a kill, but it wasn't. What about this SD-10? Juicy's well in the killing line for this one. Straight in the face, Juicy takes it, but FFCMF caught out and gets impacted by an AIM 120. Suddenly it's a 5v3 as an SD-10 goes out towards Falcon. Falcon doesn't manage to evade it. Sting and Nightjar, the last two remaining. Sting down to AIM 9Ms. Sees Su-27s all in front of him. Launches one AIM 9M at the one on the left. Will it have the energy to try and get him? No. The AIM 9Ms are no good. But Batove has run out of fuel and impacted the ground. Nightjar gets splashed by an R27. Sting is the only one left. Down to guns, but not out of the match. No impacts just yet, but he's getting closer. Got to be careful of that gun ammo, though. He's all over this Su-27 like a rash. But it looks like he might have pulled one too many Gs. No, he's back on him. This match has everything. Sting goes defensive. He might have had a missile launched at him. He's surrounded by targets. An R27 from Yogic might be the one that seals the deal. It's going to be close. It's going to be really close. But not close enough. It loses track. What does Yogic have left to deal with this? 4 R-73s. I think Sting is one of the best pilots there is, but there are certain situations where you run out of options, and this certainly seems to be one of them. You see the poor F-16 over the ocean, not even any cover to use. But Yogic isn't committing into it. Gerza here, following on, has 3 R-73s. Has Sting got anything left? Has he got any ammo in his gun? Or did he use all of it? Or alternatively, is Sting trying to drag them as far away from their airfield as possible to force as many as possible to RTB for fuel? Sting might be going for a draw here. This might actually be an attempt to pull them as far away from their airfield as possible before the match ends. And considering that they've already had one land on the ground and Lex and Yogic are going back for fuel, makes me wonder, do they actually have what that takes to get back home? The Viper has to be sipping fumes. Yeah, well, all of these planes have to be. I wonder if that plane on the ground is still there. No, it's not. Okay. An R-73 goes out towards Sting. Does it have the range? Slowing down to 500 knots now. It won't be fast enough. Sting running here. There's nothing in the rulebook against it. What Sting is doing here is just tactics. As we see the R-73 explode over his left-hand shoulder. Yogic and Lex heading home with 71 nautical miles to go. Lex must be sipping at the moment. But there's an R-27 going out towards Sting here. Sting is done for. BK, RTB. Alright. Once they're out of the zone, they're done for that round. No, in the amount of time it would take for him to go back and get fuel, 5 minutes would pass with the zone uncontested. Let's have a look at the TAC view and see what we missed. We'll start off with Falcon. I mean, look at the intensity of this fighting. Look at the trails. Look at the aircraft trails that we have going on here, and just look at like the dynamics of the battle. You can see over in this side we have a very tight, squirrely formation of all of the members of BK, and you can see the shape, rather, of GC, and you can see the pressure that BK is applying here. And the kind of area that's being given up, quite firmly corralling GC into a fairly close match. Anyway, what we're following? We're following Falcon. So let's see what happened then. That's right. Falcon getting splashed pretty late on in the round by an SD-10 fired by IAK. And looks like they jettisoned, rather they ejected before the missile even hit, so it felt like that one was probably a bit of a done deal. Let's have a look at the F-15s. Helldog managing to commit into the fight for quite some time here, but eventually getting splashed by a close-range SD-10. Where is the member of BK that got shot down, or did they get shot down? We have 4 up yet, so we have IAK, Gurza, Yogic, and Lex. So let's see what's happened to FFCMF. FFCMF getting splashed a little bit out of position, chasing down Falcon. Nightjar providing good cover there, and taking out CMF conclusively there. Then we have Batove here, who appears, in this instance, oh, he hit the ground. Okay. So what happened here, I reckon, I'll bet my bottom dollar on it, that Batove here, in his evasive maneuver, because the moment when we saw him rolling on the ground, his right hand, his rear right hand elevator had substantial damage, so I think what happened is he accidentally took out his engines by tapping them on the ground. Managing to land safely and eject out. What a match. It had everything. It had everything. You can't buy entertainment like that. What happened to Juicy? Okay, Juicy got caught climbing up. And was it an ET? No, it was the SD-10 fired after the ET. That could have gone any direction we could have imagined, I think. It could have been just about anything. Oh boy. Sometimes SATAC matches get so exciting that they're exhausting, and that was an exhausting match. I'm also sad that the Viper managed a gun kill, though kudos for being clever. In that situation where Sting had no weapons, no nothing left, and potentially no gun ammo at all, the one thing that he could have done in that situation was what he did, and to figure that out quickly is, I think, very impressive. Sorry, this is just plain porn now. You guys want some plain porn? I'll give it to you. So, Yogic, Lex, very close to base now, about 22 nautical miles, with Gurza and IAK following behind. And how cool is it that we got a map on the Persian Gulf as well? You can see that the sun isn't on IAK because he's at 37,000 feet, but it is on Gurza. Oh, the exact moment that the sun went past the horizon for Gurza. Not dark enough now to cause much trouble, I think. As Yogic begins the descent. Oh, look at the lights and stuff. That's so cool. I'm so... love this stuff. So is it... okay, it looks like it's Yogic that's coming home first. And... uh-oh. You see this? Lex has shut down an engine. So Lex's left engine is at 87% RPM. The right engine at 30% RPM. He might not have the fuel to make it home. DCS is definitely pretty, it is. If I was Lex, I would jettison his R73s, but I don't know if that will cause much of a difference. The runway is in sight for Yogic. Are there night maps as well? No, none that happen definitively at night. Just during the day, sometimes in the afternoon. The full list of maps is actually available as part of the SATAC rules and information that you can find on their Discord. The Discord to the SATAC organisation, the 51st PVO, has been periodically appearing in chat, and if you join that, then you can have a look at the missions. Not sure if you can jettison the 73. You can on an SU-25. Don't know if you can on a SU-27. The only problem with a nighttime tournament, Margot, I think would be visibility for me. I don't know how I would stream the match at night, because night in DCS is dark. a gorgeous landing. Never mind. A gorgeous landing by Yogic, coming down beautifully in the SU-27. The only thing that would make it better is if the parachute popped out. Use the parachute! Let's see how Lex is going. Lex is running on one engine and has no fuel left. In fact, both engines are now completely idle. But he's got his air brakes out, so he must be confident he can make the range. Is there no NVG for spectator view? I don't actually know. There might be, but I've never used it. I'm not sure if I could handle that amount of green. Night vision for spectator. I'm sure it's possible. I don't know what the hotkey is. And Lex makes it down safe. IAK and Gerza to follow now. Let's change the score. BK takes round 1. Let's check the controls for a second. Might be in camera. UI layer, command menu, general. I don't even know where the control would be. Possibly a mod, or possibly I'm dumb. Both possibilities are equal. Yeah, there we go. There's a cool shot here somewhere. I just forgot where the moon was. There it is. Let's see if we can make it look cinematic. Fuck. Because the camera's zoomed in so far. Damn it. There we go. And then if we put this here. I think the DPI on my mouse is too low. I need someone to come into my room and hit the print screen button. Okay, we got it. Cool. I got the screenshot. So, Yogic makes it back, and he is taxiing gently along the runway. They're very low on fuel. Lex has managed to make it down safely too. Engines now switched off. IAK to follow. You did a great job, proud of you. Thanks. Thanks. I'm very praise motivated. So if anyone wants me to do something, you can usually just get me to do it by praising me into something. I'm not ashamed about it. The runway visible just over here. Into the waiting arms of the 2 remaining teammates. Down he comes. Air brakes out. BK doing a spectacular job in round one in a very, very intense match. That was really, 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 really exciting. And now I'm exhausted. You would have figured Mika would be the one motivated by being called a good boy. Well, you know. Everyone's got their thing. You've never seen someone who can eat as much uranium in one sitting as I can? Well, I just figure it's good meal preparation. A single gram of uranium contains billions of calories. If I just have a small teaspoon of uranium every now and then, I don't need to eat anything for months. Arguably, I wouldn't need to eat anything for the rest of my life. Which would be about 5 minutes. Down comes IAK. Beautifully making their way down to Liwa Airfield. Is this Ras or is this Liwa, actually? This is Ras. And Gers is the last one left. Personally, Diesel Husky, I found the process of eating uranium to be an enriching experience. Down come the gear for Gerza. Runway in sight. That'll be 4 down and safe. For the spectacular BK. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think I'm hysterical, feel free to give thousands of subs. If you happen to live in the Persian Gulf and happen to be the son of an important prince, or alternatively, one of the other oligarchs in the region, please, I know the maximum amount of subs you can gift at a time is 100, but if you save your payment information, it doesn't take long. And there we have it. Gerza lands and treats us to a little bit of parachute action. Alright guys, I'm going to restart the server. And we're going to run some ads while everything gets set up for round 2. Okie dokie guys, first things first, a quick word from our friends at Masterarm, and then we'll be right back so that we can prepare for round number... Look up the top left. 2. Perfect. Alright guys, from Masterarm.
Running a dedicated DCS server can be complex, time-consuming, and expensive. And after all that effort, you still might not get the smooth, seamless experience you're looking for. That's why virtual pilots and virtual squadrons choose Masterarm as a ready-for-immediate-use solution and for peak efficiency. With low latency, high stability, and uncompromising performance, Master Arm ensures that every maneuver, every decision, and every shot counts. Stay mission ready. Fly with confidence. Master Arm has your 6. Get your server at www.masterarm.de.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. As we have a look at Liwa Airfield, we can see that the members of Golden Crown have taken the controversial choice to bring along 4 civilian airliners. It'll be interesting to see. Of course, the civilian airliner with a good service ceiling of 35 to 40,000 feet, but unfortunately kind of lacking in hard points. No, of course, we have the members of Golden Crown lining up on the runway. It's just a little airfield over here, so it's got this little handy-dandy turnaround point right at the back. Same setup as before. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 F-16s, an F-15, and then just coming into frame at the bottom, we have another F-15. The lineup we have come to expect from Golden Crown. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we have the venerable BK, fresh off their victory in round 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more to go, as their J11s. One of them is BK having a little bit of DCS trouble, and of course we all have. Wow, so much ad. Hey Hebus, the reason that I run 3 minutes of ads is so that during the match, you don't have any ads pop up while the match is happening. So, if I didn't do 3 minutes of ads at that time, then there might be the match going on, and then suddenly you just get taken out of it by ads that I have no control over. By doing this, I can ensure that there are no more ads for the rest of the match, and it always happens when there's nothing to watch. There we go. I'm struggling to get my volume controls to cooperate. Hello, okay, it's better like this. There you go. Looking gorgeous. Look at all of these J11s in a row. Thank you for the follow, Simbear93, Schneebear, Pazuzu, and Tony the Captain. Thank you for all the support that you guys show me during these SATAC matches. Don't forget that you can also see the... pardon me, I'm just about to cough. There we go. You'll see the links to the SATAC Discord rolling through chat, so make sure that you support them. And then not only that, you can also follow me and join in on my Discord, a welcoming aviation-centric community where everyone is welcome so long as they pledge to focus on finding the fun and cooperation that there is to be had within flight simulation. They just turned all their landing lights on in sync. That's great. Yeah, man, the J11, the SATAC regular at this point. I'm sure this tornado over here is feeling a little bit anxious with all of these big Su-27s behind it, but there you go. Most flew F-16s? Yeah, they tend to. The F-16 is definitely the most popular airframe overall. But there's always been a strong contingent of J11s, just because there are certain Red 4 teams that prefer to fly Red 4 aircraft. Ah, and I see they have Shadow as their backup. I see. while we're waiting for the match to get started, let's run a poll, and this one can run for longer. We'll leave this one going for 10 minutes. Make sure you vote on your screens for which team you're here to support. Both BK and Golden Crown are fantastic competitors, and certainly not to be underestimated in a match like this. F16's your main girl. All right, guys, type in chat. What's your main girl? What's your best aircraft? What's your absolute favorite? F16, F14, F15E. OH58, AH64. Oh, Schneebear and Simbear. You guys should... You guys should link up and do some buddy lasing. Comac C909. You mean the C101? We should do an event called Train Attack, where all you can bring is L39s, MB339s, C101s, the Veo Hawk. If that was rest in peace, Veo Hawk. If anyone wants to install DCS version 2.4, you can still use the Veo Hawk. You already did? Oh my god, I've got such a good reading. I said we'd watch GC take off this time, so we will. Looks like Sting is going to be leading the way. C909's the best aircraft in the world. Okay, both teams ready. Get set. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, go, go. There we go, and I messed up saying go, go, go. We see Sting and his wingman leading the way for Golden Crown. Hi there, Historia. How are you? And up they go. The first two leading the way, Sting and Falcon. Following behind, it'll be Nightjar and... Echo. Let's have a look at how BK are going. Go, 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 go. Now, you might think to yourself, Airshot, surely it wouldn't be difficult to set up a button macro so that you don't fuck that up every time. And I say, yes, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because there is not really much of an advantage. No! Oh, he's back. Cool. Okay, little bit of a connection burble. Some of these players having to use VPNs and other things to access the server. It is an unfortunate reality of our modern time. Helldog is taking off, and Juicy's right behind them. Already in the air, those F-15 engines don't mess around. An important reminder to all viewers and participants that DCS SATAC, not DCS, SATAC is a non-political organisation, and that whilst we may have competitors from all over the world, such as Iran, Belarus, Russia, Ukraine, all over the world, there is no space for politics in these friendly skies. All we're concerned about is good, healthy competition. I know that these players live by that mantra, and it's a tight-knit community of people who support each other, and I encourage you to do the same, taking SATAC as an opportunity to disconnect from the outside world and instead enjoy some excellent flying. Make sure you stay hydrated, I say as I take an enormous sip out of my great big thermos flask that's full of ice. We have CMF and Lex in the Eastern Group, IAK and Seraphim 51 in the Western Group. Once again, it looks like Golden Crown will be the first one to enter the circle. We'll keep our eye out for tactics changes. Maybe a hiccup, but it's not happening. Okay. Looks like this time the F-15s are sticking in the middle as the F-16s charge along into the sides. If you remember last time, Falcon and Echo were, instead of in front of the F-15s, was behind them. But it looks like the F-15s are staying together this time, instead of separating out and following the triple pairs, looking for some high-altitude cover. The J-11s making their way into the circle. 23,000 feet and climbing, but not afterburning just yet. The zone is looking ready for our participants. The haze has settled over Dubai. And of course, we have this nondescript nondescript car manufacturer icon here. I think it might be for Vauxhall. Who knows? One way or another, the current separation between both teams is small and getting smaller all the time. Looks like Sting has proceeded up to 41,000 feet in the F-16. The two F-15s not far behind at 40,000 feet. Should be able to see his colleagues just as little tiny dots over the top of him. And here come the results of the poll. Looks like 67% for BK and 33% for Golden Crown. BK obviously putting out a spectacular performance in the first match, but not quite managing to cinch the victory. Correction. BK putting on an excellent performance in the first match, with Golden Crown not able to cinch the victory. Though, with that having had been said, there is still potentially 2 rounds remaining. So no excuses for resting on your laurels. And I think I might switch up the music just a little bit, because this is a bit too lyric-y for me. Even though that is a really good song. Maybe having the sun over your back is a disadvantage, maybe it's an advantage. Luckily, Dubai is a small city with not a lot of inhabitants, certainly. Gerza and Yogic break from one another, as Sting has dropped down to 36,000 feet. The F-15's at 38,000 feet. Proceeding with pace. English-speaking countries call it Vauxhall. It gets even worse, Margot, because in Australia, sometimes it's called Holden. Or in Germany, I think it's called Opel sometimes, so it depends. Some Vauxhall cars get branded as Holden in Australia, some don't. CMF and Lex maintaining their close formation in the eastern corridor. And Seraphim and IAK as well in the west. Sting is still the vanguard for Golden Crown. Right now is 45 nautical miles away from the nearest member of BK. And he is charging up. Launching the first missile of the match from Golden Crown. Opel is the original. Ah. The Heiss Opel. Those guys used to make good trucks back in the 40s. I wonder who they made them for. So, it looks like we have Sting's AIM 120 is heading towards the Eastern Group. FFCMF and Lex will have to contend with that one, but it's still got a long way to go. Gerza launches the first missile towards the Northern Group. This one looks like it's following the path towards Falcon, who's turned cold. What do the Australians call it? Holden. Holden used to be an Australian car manufacturer, but I think it got bought by GM, and now it gets branded as Vauxhall. I don't actually know. Australia doesn't have domestic car manufacturing anymore. Looks like this missile is destined for Lex. And is beginning its downwards journey, travelling at 1,300 knots, and is at 47,000 feet. So it's going to have speed, but does it have potential? Meanwhile, the SD-10 chasing Falcon has gone for orbit instead of attack. Lex may be in trouble here. He's kind of flying right into this one. Sting, ooh, living up to his name, Sting dispenses it and takes out the now exploded Lex, the first casualty of round 2. An unexpected long-range shot takes out the J11. That's a huge loss this early on in the match, and a great shot by Sting. IAK firing off at Juicy. Helldog at 24,000 feet. The now wingmanless FFCMF is only 20 nautical miles away. And sure enough, Helldog fires an AIM 120. Straight off the wings. Spotto and his Aussie Dr. Nefario stories. Yeah, man. No, Dr. Nefario, don't do a skid in the car park. Okay, looks like Juicy has got an SD-10 on them. This one should be defeated quite handily. as FFCMF has, if you live in this area of Dubai, I would just recommend closing your windows for a second. As, yeah. War crime. Okay. So, R27, flying through the sky, no lock. The SD-10 fired over here is going to space from memory. Yes, it is. No attack happening just then. IAK is pushing hard here with the J11, still has 3 SD-10s left to go. The palm fronds visible in the distance. An SD-10 comes off and starts spearing through the sky. Looks like it might be for Juicy if this thing starts going straight down. It is. Oh, but the Seeker head is going wild. Looks like it's regained track after losing it for a second there. But that costed a huge amount of energy as it wiggled around there. That AMRAAM shaker, I think, is what just saved Juicy's life. This R27 launched as well. It's an ET, but not enough energy to cross the distance. Incredible. What a wild start to the match. Aim 7 comes off the wings from Helldog. This is everything. This is the match where everything happens. And everything is happening in incredible pace. As we see missiles crisscross the sky, one towards IAK, one towards Seraphim. 2 missiles launched in return. An SD-10 fired towards Helldog. This one's going to go into the sand, I'm willing to bet. No dice. I cut off that explosion in a really funny way. Okay, IAK is regaining altitude now after feeling confident that he's defeated that AIM 120. Preparing up for the next attack at 10,000 feet. Seraphim, on the other hand, is right down on the deck, evading AIM 120s. It's a 5v6. How's IAK going with this AIM 120? Easily defeated. Juicy, once again, pushing up from the palm fronds at 5,000 feet. Still has a centerline fuel tank on. But still has every single one of their missiles. Are they going to try and beat them in missile economy? Let's check what BK has. So, 2 SD-10s for IAK. Seraphim, 1 SD-10. Gerza, 2 SD-10s. FFCMF, 3 SD-10s. Yogic. You know what I think has only 1 SD-10? You know what I think? With the early loss of one of the BK pilots, I think a conscious call has been made by the members of Golden Crown to try and exhaust them of their missile supply. Because Golden Crown will already have an advantage of 4 AMRAAMs on them. In which case, an incredible call. However, let's see what this SD-10 gets done. As Nightjar is going to have to defend this one. It's travelling at 1,100 knots. Nightjar is travelling at 700, so that one's going to slow down before it reaches its target. Another AIM 120 fired towards Gerza. This one's going to be skimming the treetops. And not a war crime. Okay, cool. AIM 120 is being launched. Looks like that one is from Echo, heading towards FFCMF. 2 missiles heading towards FFCMF. That was launched at 10 nautical miles, though, so an unlikely hit. 2 missiles on a target that's already very cold. FFCMF needing to get right down on the deck now. These 3 J11s passing in relatively close proximity of each other. Seraphim firing an SD-10. His wingman firing another SD-10 over his left shoulder. R27's coming off against Nightjar, including an ET. The ET looks like it doesn't have track, though, and is going for countermeasures. What about the SD-10? BK not managing to get anything to stick to Golden Crown at the moment. An AIM 7 comes off from Helldog. An entirely different Golden Crown has appeared for this match, and they appear well and truly in control so far. Ooh, but Helldog pushes too far and takes an R27 ET to the face. Would not have gotten any warning that was coming. It's a 5v5 now with one of the F-15s taken out. Juicy and Gerza are close to each other. Juicy fires a 120 at Gerza. And Gerza does not have much background to notch this against, but somehow manages to convince the missile just to give up. I cannot possibly imagine why, but Juicy's got another one where that came from, and he's only 4 nautical miles away, not even. This one cannot be spoofed in the same way. No way. Juicy is just not having any luck with these AIM 120s. Gerza should be dead, but he's not. And Gerza's bag of tricks runs empty after an impressive performance, but is Juicy too far forwards? Is he about to get an SD-10? Juicy gets taken out. His life, the cost for that kill. So it's a 4v4. Seraphim has an AIM 120 coming in, but it's doing the AMRAM shaker. Runs out of energy just at the last second. Now Sting has an SD-10 coming in. Needs to notch this, but manages to. He actually manages to notch the missile at the last possible second. Expert flying from Sting. Falcon defending against an SD-10. I'm going to hyperventilate. This SD-10 no good against Falcon. Nightjar and Sting now chasing down Yogic as Echo fires off an AIM 120. Looks like this one's straight for FFCMF. FFCMF does not get out of the way. It's a 3v4 now. Jojic still with R73s, and that's about it. Seraphim with R73s, and that's about it. IAK with an R27 ET and R73s. An A9 comes off the wing, but Sting and Nightjar need to be careful. They've got an SU-27 coming right off their right-hand side with deadly short-range missiles. He's got 2 ahead of him. This is dangerously close. He pulls in right behind them. He's got 1. Splashes 1. What about the other? And Sting gets splashed 2. Seraphim takes out 2. It's a 2v2. IAK and Falcon looking at each other now. He's got the F-16 off his sights. He fires off that last remaining ET. You've got to dump countermeasures, man. You can't fly straight into it. It's too late. IAK takes out the last one. Echo is all that's left, and he's got 2 A9s, and that's it. An R73 is coming in towards Echo. He fires an A9M. Does not evade the R73. BK unbelievably manages to secure that right at the end. Unfathomable. Let's check that everyone's down. And they are. Woof. All right. Seraphim and IAK, the last 2 remaining. With approximately 88 nautical miles left to make it home. Golly, what a match. It looked so good for Golden Crown. I thought Golden Crown had that in the bag. First things first, Sting manages to score an amazing long-range shot. What was the range on that? 44 nautical miles. Lex would have been getting radar warning receiver notifications about this, but does not appear to have had felt the need to defend too enthusiastically against that one. A dramatic early loss for BK as Lex went down. So FFCMF getting tangled up here at close range, managing to get a lot of really good close range shots in. And managing to get an impressive shot here against Juicy. Firstly, let's have a look at Gerz's defense against Juicy here, because I can't believe he got away with it. So, aim 120, launched at Gerza. Gerza pulls it right into the notch and then starts countermeasuring and just confuses it. I reckon what happened here was that the missile was intercepting, and then when Gerza started countermeasuring, the missile actually lost him in this chaff bundle here and expected him to be somewhere else. So that's one missile dodged by Gerza. A second AIM 120 towards Gerza. Gerza uses the little bit of altitude that he gained to dive back down and convince that AIM 120 into the ground. However, despite a valiant effort by Gerza, no dice. As he gets splashed. Meanwhile, Gerza managing to take out Helldog here. Very unlucky of Helldog to not have this, Wait, was he only dumping... Was he dumping flares, or was he dumping chaff? I think Helldog might have just dumped chaff instead of flares, because the flares are yellow and they have little trails like this. But chaff just looks like little bricks. I think what happened here was Helldog accidentally, or maybe he didn't have any flares left, accidentally launched the wrong countermeasure to try and defeat this ET. Thank you for the follow, Binal. Gotta keep in mind those those R27 ETs, they are deadly. So Juicy takes down Gerza, but FFCMF manages to turn around and get an SD10 on Juicy, who doesn't quite manage to find the notch. FFCMF themselves would eventually get splashed by Echo. Echo definitely putting on a monster effort for Golden Crown here, and definitely man of the match for them, I would say. A great attempt at trying to evade, nearly getting into the notch there and dumping countermeasures at the right time, but not enough distance to try and convince the missile at that point. Yogic eventually getting splashed by Nightjar, but this is the moment that it all changed. This is where it all went completely wrong. Sting and Nightjar get flanked by Seraphim, and Seraphim manages to get Sting right away by the first R73. The second one comes out and goes straight for Nightjar. Two Golden Crown members taken out in the blink of an eye, which then evens out the playing field. An R73 at close range, IAK takes down Falcon, so it wasn't an ET. Falcon does launch countermeasures, but too late, with only one flare bundle making it out before the R73 impacts. And then an AIM-9M fired from Echo towards IAK, which goes for the flares. And an R73 fired in return towards Echo, which does not go for the flares. As we saw, the flight he was still in burner. Let's see how Seraphim and IAK are going. But hold on, guys. I don't know if you can see the RPMs down at the bottom of the screen, but I think Seraphim's completely out of fuel. I think there's a gliding Su-27, and Seraphim is 47 nautical miles from home at 27,000 feet. I don't think that's enough energy to glide anywhere. And IAK is low on fuel. Hold on. If he's at 30%, Are both of these planes out of fuel? They might not make it back. This might be a truck. This might be a draw. Hold on, guys. Don't stand up. Don't walk away. This might be a draw. So, we have IAK at minimum RPMs at 26,000 feet with 50 nautical miles to go. We have Seraphim with engines off at 24,000 feet. I don't think either of them can make this. Seraphim is restarting their engines, so maybe they have a little bit of fuel left. We'll see if he starts up one or both. Okay, the engines restart. But no increase in RPM. He is dead out of fuel. He is dead out of fuel. I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in it. I mean, IAK still has the engines on. They are at idle. It's a fake FC3 engine restart. Oh, I see. Just shoveling the engine. Well, IAK is, still has engines on. Seraphim is just bleeding altitude here. Oh, he's just shoveling the engine. The starter doesn't need fuel. Oh, so he's just running the starter over and over again to try and... I mean, it does put it up to 11% RPM. Does kind of sound like farting in a shower, though. IAK appears to be the only hope left for BK. 65 is idle? Yeah, but I can hear his engines are still on. Then what is running on his plane? I mean, I get it, but I can hear engine noise. Unless he's going fast enough for the engines to read as 30%. So, how far have we got to go? We have IAK at 16,000 feet with 32 nautical miles to go. Seraphim with 36 nautical miles to go at 13,000 feet. Windmilling RPM? Then why isn't Seraphim at 30% RPM? Well, he's at much lower speed. So I guess it must just be windmilling. They must both be out of juice. IAK is gliding at 220 knots. Is there an APU on this? Well, they haven't got any fuel, so... Okay, let's time it. Who's got a stopwatch? 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 10, 1,000, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 10, 1,000, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. Okay, so it's taking about 24 to 25 seconds to descend 1,000 feet, and he's traveling at 220 knots. The math does not add up. So, 12,000 feet, 224 knots, 1,500 knots, feet rather. Seraphim is not making it. Seraphim is dead in the water. And Seraphim's at 90 knots, just about to stall. You're supposed to say shoot after 1,000. No, 1,000. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4. 10 nautical miles per 10,000 feet. They won't make it. Hello, Sebastian Riviere. Welcome in. He's trying his engine again. Oh no, IAK is turning back. His engines are done. He knows he's not going to make it, I think. He's going for a road. 30% he's dead, you just checked. Oh, there goes Seraphim. Seraphim ejects. Rest in peace. BK as they make their final descent. That's one down, and IAK is the last one. Wait, did the gear deploy and come back? This round is a tie, which means that we are going to round number 3, where BK can compete for the win, and Golden Crown can compete for the tie. At which point, the points will be distributed between the teams. That's a landing, but not where you need to land. IAK does not make it back, and that is the end of round 2. A tie. Alright guys, well, let's restart the server and get ourselves ready for the next match. Well, what is everyone thinking about that? That was damn exciting. God, I told you, this is the match that has everything. This is the match that has everything. While we get ready for the next round, we also have to just do a little bit of admin in the background. Uh... Okay, and we'll just pass on the information to the teams. Points awarded for the tricycle landing? Negative. Alright, guys, I have to play the ads while we get prepared for the next round. So, while this all takes place, we will prepare for the next one. So, we'll be right back. Time to stand up, get yourself a drink, and get yourself ready for round number 3. Keep your eyes up in the top left. Come on, you know you love it. 3. Round number 3. Alright, we'll be back soon. Welcome back, guys, to a highly unexpected round 3. We see the teams back in their original positions again. This means that Golden Crown is competing to force the tie, and BK are looking to secure the victory. It'll be an interesting dynamic. Both teams have had plenty of time to get the knack of feeling at each other. I hope you've taken the chance to refresh yourself for what's promising to be an incredible match. Ooh, both of the matches so far have been spectacular. With BK managed to force... Golden Crown managing to force BK to run out of fuel on the return journey. It's the J11s facing off against their Western friends. The Iranians proudly presented here by the members of Golden Crown. And proud they should be, as they have flown excellently thus far. If there's a tie, do we go to round 4? No. If there's a tie, then I believe the points are distributed out to both teams. However, with that being said, I would defer to the event organisers in that regard. But I believe it's just a tie during the group stages. Gurza, Seraphim, Batove, IAK, CMF, and Lex are back. Seraphim managing to get that amazing double kill in the first round. Or rather, the second round, but the first round in which they appeared. So Gurza leads the way as the J11s proceed down to the taxiway. How much longer are the group stages? Well, the group stages will be continuing until June. So unfortunately, I will be away during May. So if anyone has ever been interested in casting a SATAC match, now is the time to have a go. As there will be a huge gap left in streaming SATAC matches by my absence during May. So if you have the capacity to try and give it a go, let me know. But I'll be away from the 5th of May until the 5th of June. As the last J11s begin to make their way down to the runway. BK cleanly represented here. Where's Golden Crown from? They are from Iran. As you can see here, they emblazon their aircrafts with, let's find one. Iranian Air Force camo. With a couple of beautiful accents such as Sting here. Tomorrow, there'll be more SATAC happening. So, on the 26th, Saturday, at 1500 Zulu, HDA will be fighting against Dark Raven. That'll be cast by 81 Banana. So let's shout out 81 Banana. They'll be casting... Is that the right account? Yes. They will be casting the 1500 Zulu match. And I will be casting the 1800 Zulu match, the match that starts at the same time as today. I will be casting the 179th Dogs fighting against the Persian Air Force, another Iranian team. Two very solid teams provided to us for this SATAC from Iran. And of course, their opponents, BK, are from Russia and Belarus. Thank you for the follow, Ultimate Dar. I hope that you'll be here at the same time tomorrow for my match, and I hope that you will drop in on a A1 Bananas match between HDA and Dark Ravens, two good teams. HDA is good fun to watch. There's 3 teams left? No, there's loads of teams left. I'm not sure I understand your question. And then on Sunday at 1800 Zulu, I will be casting the ETF and 71st Warcom match. That'll be ETF, an international team, facing off against a Bangladeshi team. No, Faisal, this is round 3. Round 2 was a tie. So, round 2, no one won, with Golden Crown unable to fully return to base. And it looks like we have 2 reserves left for Golden Crown, so we have Slayer and Shadow standing in as reservists. Welcome in Solovyevgama. Solovyevgama? Let me know if I get that right or wrong. All right. Yes, there are 40 teams in this year's SATAC, though a few have dropped out so far, as the group stages have been going on for a while, and people's availabilities are a little bit fickle sometimes. I mean, I could read through all 40 teams if you wanted, but that might be a little bit much. And it looks like Golden Crown is looking like they might need to use one of their backups here. Thank you for that, Margot. It'd be useful to link this into the description. Well, unfortunately, I don't just post SATAC matches. I also stream regularly, so having that in the description of my regular stream would be a little bit tricky. However, all of the information with regards to SATAC matches can be found within the Discord of the organisers, which appears periodically in chat, the 51st PBO. Your patience will be rewarded. Okay, so it looks like Slayer is heading up. Nightjar has slotted in behind Sting. Looks like they're figuring out between themselves who's moving in next. Looks like it is Slayer stepping up to the plate. Alright, so Falcon, Slayer, Juicy, and Helldog mostly lined up here. Okay. Meanwhile, let's check on BK. Looks like everyone in BK is looking pretty okay. I'm sure they'll wait just to fill up their tanks before reporting ready. Alright. Just checking everything's okay. Looks like they're trying to get Shadow back. Not surprised, there's a lot on the line for this one. Thank you for your patience, everyone. While this is happening, let's chuck up a quick poll. What's the price of the winner? Too tricky to describe quickly, but a little bit tricky to explain quickly, but there are modules available as prizes, along with all kinds of other things from the sponsors of SATAC, including a partnership with Orbix, which means that the final rounds, the final matches of SATAC, will be on the Kola Peninsula, as it will be provided for all pilots. Okay, let's hope we can get Shadow here quickly. Oh, in fact, looks like it might be Slayer. Honor and respect? No, there are prizes to win. I'm sure BK will want just a moment to top up their fuel tanks, and then I'm sure they'll report when ready. There couldn't be a better team matchup in terms of color and all that sort of thing. Okay, both teams ready. Get set. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, go, go. And there we have it. It is the beginning of the third round as Golden Crown tries to secure the win against, or rather manages to defend themselves into a tie against BK. Sting leads the way. His wingman, Echo, has been performing beautifully this match. An excellent pilot. One of the best F-16s I've seen in the competition so far. Taking off at a sharp angle and heading towards the circle with no time to waste. Meanwhile, we see IAK and Batove taking off. So, Golden Crown is in the air along with BK as Slayer and Nightjar lead the way for duty. The F-15's fully loaded with fuel. Everything's connected and ready to go. All that's left to do now is figure out who's going to win the third and final round of today's SATAC match. Don't forget that the poll is running at the moment, as we see the members of BK climb up. The sun is behind Golden Crown, so each of them will be flying into battle in this round with Golden Crowns of their own. Is it 120 Charlie or Bravo? 120 Charlies. So, to go through the weapons that we have available. On the J-11s, they have the R-73 short-range air-to-air missile. A very capable heat seeker. They have the R-27 ET and ER. This one in question is an ER, which means that it is guided by radar. Then, it's carrying along 4 SD-10s, which are active radar homing missiles. They have their own onboard radars, allowing them to engage without radar guidance. This is the R-27ET, which is a long-range infrared heat-seeking missile. Quite sensitive to flares, but beyond that, very effective. Meanwhile, the F-16s, equipped with the familiar AIM-9M. No AIM-9Xs in SATAC, just to keep the playing field nice and level. Then, in addition to that, the AIM-120 Charlie, identifiable from the Bravo by the fact that it has little clipped winglets instead of full-size deflection surfaces. The only other weapon that we might see a couple of, on the F-15 Charlies, we have a couple of Sparrows. You can tell a Sparrow from an AIM-120 because it's bigger. So the one on the left one is a big Sparrow, and the one behind it is an AIM-120. The Sparrow is a Fox 1 missile. That means it requires radar guidance all the way to the impact point. The battle area is contested. It's an interesting point, Margot. I believe there used to be an urban myth. I don't know if it's true or not. It might be true, but someone who knows better than me should say that the Bravo was better at short ranges because it could turn better due to the size of its winglets. All planes in the competition, Ultimate Tsar, is limited on a maximum of 4 Fox 3 missiles. So, a maximum rather, of 4 is to be brought by any aircraft. This is to ensure that other aircraft, like the JF-17, are able to compete. Golden Crown is sticking much closer in formation. The 2 F-15s at 44,000 feet, flying above Nightjar and Sting. And I thought I'd be able to see them, but I can't. Oh, there they are. The F-16s are actually at contrail altitude, but if you look up here, the F-15s are flying above the contrails. I wouldn't be surprised if we see early shots from the F-15s. They managed to take out one of their targets quite speedily in the first round. The Golden Crown F-15s are moving at pace towards their targets. Gerza and Seraphim have separated out and are actually beginning to descend. They'll be going very fast now. Spectacular. As Lex and FFCMF begin descending as well. And it looks like it's even Stevens for the third round, with BK and GC both getting 50% of the vote. So BK descends. Gerza fires an SD-10 while descending and gaining a large amount of speed. Sting has already launched an AIM-120. It was Sting in the first round who managed to get that long-range kill, still with triple bags on. I would have thought the center line would have been empty by now, but we'll see. This SD-10 has not gone into space and is instead tracking its targets all the way down. Looks like this one might be destined for Sting, or maybe Nightjar. The SD-10 that's heading towards Judy, Slayer, and Helldog, also at a pace. But Gerza has one coming in. You can see Gerza just over the left-hand side of the missile. Running the risk of flying straight into this one. Gerza's actually turned cold, okay. Should be able to get away from this one. Looking not to afterburn at the moment, actually. Very conscious of fuel after the previous rounds. This missile travelling at 800 knots, now 790. Gerza will get away from this comfortably. And the SD-10s that were fired towards the groups have not found their targets and are flying away. The Seeker head desperately looking to try and find its target, but no such luck. The initial exchange of missiles resulting in no kills on either side. Around about a similar amount of missiles launched on either side. Gers are, in fact, not going all that fast down here on the ground. Only at 2,000 feet. Strategy here might be to bait out shots, or maybe these AIM-120s are still giving active seeking warnings, in which case Gers wants to probably just be a little bit careful here. Not that they would know any better, as Batove and Seraphim simultaneously fire upwards towards Helldog and Juicy. Helldog knows something's happening, and is beginning the downwards descent. Dumping the countermeasures out, you can see the sparkles of the chaff as they enter into the sky. Helldog knows this one's a threat. Has to bring it down into the thicker air. And certainly has. It's slowed all the way down to 800 knots. No impact. What about the SD-10 heading upwards? It's not got a track, and this one is going to space. Juicy fires an AIM-120, might be at IAK at 30 nautical miles. CMF has an AIM-120 to contend with. Trying to chase them down to altitude. That one's not going to hit. Seraphim is pushing at 2,000 feet. And it's going to eventually be right underneath Juicy, actually. Juicy's got to be careful here. An R-27, is this an ET? It is. Juicy's going to get no warning. Juicy's not going to have any idea that this missile's coming. And impact. Juicy would never have known that was happening. Seraphim managing to sneak in underneath the radar of Juicy and get the first kill for BK. IAK is contending. Whoopsies. That missile went dumb and exploded. Seraphim in the J-11. Seraphim running out of fuel in the previous round. Got to be careful about all this afterburning at low altitude. Echo is about 10 nautical miles from Seraphim, who's turning cold now. Helldog is only 12 nautical miles with a huge altitude advantage. Question is, does he know that Seraphim is there? A missile goes off the wings. That looks like a Sparrow to me, and it is. This one probably just acting as a noisemaker to make sure that BK is paying attention. Certainly doesn't appear to be tracking anything. Gers is pushing in now. Helldog should know that his other F-15 was taken out by an R-27. Don't let it happen twice. Another ET comes out. This one is still tracking. It's right on the ground. It'll be hard to see. Ooh, but it impacts something. It hits the ground, is not going for it. Helldog here now pushing towards Gerza. Gerza contending with some AIM-120s at low altitude. Gets away from that one. Helldog still chasing. Echo coming in to help now. IAK at 24,000 feet. And is only 10 nautical miles away from Helldog. Helldog could shoot at him with a good PK. Seraphim is right directly underneath Helldog. Still has another ET. Helldog could fall for the exact same trick that got his buddy. But Helldog is virtually visual. He should have that. That's an Su-27 right in front of you, Helldog. Shoot him! That's an Su-27! Shoot him! That Su-27's not friendly! Kill him! That missile does not have the pace to get to turn. Helldog is now merged at 20,000 feet with IAK. Caught in the confusion here. Pulls in behind IAK, who doesn't even seem to know that he's there. Launches another missile. It's tracking towards IAK. IAK launches flares, but it's too late. Helldog manages to splash him. Seraphim is directly underneath him, can see the F-15 within visual range. It just passed underneath him, but instead an SD-10 is being launched at Echo in the south. In the northern group, it looks like things are relatively calm, but it's a 4v5 in favor of Golden Crown at the moment, as Helldog manages to get right in the thick of things. All of the members of BK at bone low altitude, they are almost on zeros. As Lex climbs up as high as he will dare. Helldog actually managing to fire another AIM-9 here. No flares coming out from its target, but it might get splashed into the ground. Yep, no dice. Helldog now being chased by an SD-10. Manages to get rid of it. It goes into the terrain. Helldog's still alive. Sting, though. This missile's no good. It has gone for space. Gerza, at 1,000 feet, fires off another SD-10. This one might be chasing Nightjar. The range is around about 7 nautical miles, but now has an AIM-120 to contend with. Gerza's going to have this one coming right across him. Fortunately, it is within the range of being notched. Can Gerza pull off those same amazing tricks that they've been able to defend missiles at low altitude? It's going to be close. The missile's getting him and losing him and getting him and losing him. The Seaghead's trying its best, but it goes stupid at the last moment. But Gerza gets splashed by another missile, manages to fire off an SD-10 before going down. SD-10 coming in at close range towards Sting. This is outrageous. Sting's getting away from that one. Echo launches a 120 towards FCMF. FCMF is already going down, though. It impacts and cleans him up. A 4v4 at the moment with 2 AIM-120s going in. Looks like they are chasing down both of them, going for Lex. CMF contending with this. What about Echo? Echo has an SD-10 to contend with. It's going to be pretty close. Not close enough. Echo gets away from it. Sting has an SD-10, but it's at too high altitude. Seraphim fires at the close range F-16. Can see it just off his nose. That might have been his last R-27 ET, but it doesn't go for the flares. Seraphim gets another kill. SD-10's going out towards Nightjar, Slayer, and Echo. So now it's a 3v4 back in favor of the members of BK. But they are running low on missiles. FFCMF only with an R-27 ET left. Seraphim has only got R-73s, but has already demonstrated that's all they need. Batove, R-27 ET and ER. Lex, one SD-10 left and an R-27 ET and ER. Slayer here. Only AIM-9Ms left, but may get a chance with Seraphim coming off his nose. Fires off the AIM-9M at Seraphim. Seraphim fires an R-73 back. He's flaring it. Seraphim gets splashed by the AIM-9. But in exchange, Slayer gets splashed by the R-73, fired in return. Bringing it down to a 2v3. Nightjar here, close to Bestove. Has 2 AIM-120s left. Could secure the win here on their own. Fires an AIM-120. An R-27 fired back, an SD-10 fired back towards Nightjar. Doesn't fire off at Batobe, who's the closest target. Looks like they're going to be able to get away from this one, though. Nightjar, at 600 knots, has got decent speed. The M120 he launched going towards Lex, but Lex is going to get away from it. And Nightjar gets away from the SD-10. Does Echo have anything left? Echo has 2 AMRAAMs left. So a huge advantage in terms of missiles. An R-27 going towards Nightjar. It's an ET, it's heat-seeking. Nightjar gets splashed. It's a 1v3. Echo, now passing directly overhead, has J-11 in his sights just beneath him, fires off the 120, and splashes his target. He has 1 missile left and 2 targets to get. FFCMF, now progressing in, has R-73s. Can see his opponent in his sights. As Echo turns in straight towards him, The R-73 comes off the wings, but it's too late as BK managed to splash Nightjar. Let's check that everyone's down. Echo, by far, one of the biggest members of Golden Crown in terms of effectiveness, and BK secures it. Unbelievable. But do they have the fuel to make it home? Let's use this opportunity to see what we missed. I mean, we saw just about everything. This northern fight between Batove and Lex continued for some time. They could have had it. They could have had it. It was close. But Helldog, let's have a look at Helldog's charge here. How did Helldog get away with this? So Helldog manages to fly in directly above Gerza, Seraphim, and FFCMF, and of all of those targets decides to go for the one that's at co-altitude. IAK locks onto him at close range, fires an AIM-7, but it's no good. An AIM-120 eventually from Helldog. Still, look, he's 2 nautical miles away from FFCMF, he's 3 nautical miles away from Gerza, and he's 2.5 nautical miles away from Seraphim. And none of them look up and shoot him. Unbelievable. Helldog somehow getting away with this. Eventually getting splashed by combined SD-10 shots from Seraphim. Oh no, but it looks like he pulled too hard, traveling at Mach 1.1 and controlled flight into terrain a little bit too low. So Helldog gets lucky and then unlucky. Okay, let's have a look. All right. Cool. Was Seraphim? Yes, Seraphim was splashed by an AIM-9. Nightjar didn't have his AIM-9s. I wonder when he used them. When did Nightjar fire his AIM-9Ms? Or did they just come off? 2 AIM-120s. A difficult match for all involved, but a tremendous performance. It looked absolutely spectacular. Who got most of the kills? We'll have to check afterwards. Let's have a look at the stats. Tricky to say. Excellent, excellent. So a hard-fought victory for the members of BK. We have Lex and FCMF making their way back home, and this time their engines are on. So we'll see how they go. Okay, so Lex has 41 nautical miles to make it home, and FFCMF has about 55. My guess is Echo, I think, probably has the most individual kills, but it's tricky to say. We can talk through some interesting stats. AlphaGator managed to publish some very interesting stats, kindly made possible through Special K and his DCS server bot, or name you all ought to be familiar with. So, the player with the highest number of PvP kills in the competition so far is the 76th pilot, Orange Cat. Nacho has 9 kills in the competition so far, and Starry Fox 9 thus far has 6 kills without dying. Other pilots with 5 kills so far are Breeze from ETF, Johnny Bravo from 501st, Velike from 9G, Pornhub from 69, and Stinger from the 51st PVO. Currently, as we stand, the missiles with the highest kill percentage that have been fired in a decent number are the R-73. That hits 50% of the times it's been launched. The AIM-120C has a hit rate of 460.40. AIM-120Cs fired from F-15s have a hit percentage of 46%. Now, the hit rate from the F-15C firing AIM-120s is 46%, but an F-18 firing AIM-120s has a hit rate of 16%. The SD-10s on the J-11 have a hit rate of 19%, but the R-27T, the infrared-guided model, has a hit rate of 22%, and the R-27 radar-guided has a hit rate of 21%. The weapons that are considered the least effective thus far. The AIM-54C Mark 47, 12 of them fired, only 1 hit. Overall, the AIM-120 has a hit rate of 21%, and the SD-10 has a hit rate of 19%. The missile with the highest rate of kills is the AIM-9P5, which I can only assume was brought by mistake. Lex is nearly back. What an exciting day of SATAC for all involved. That was just fantastic. And FFCMF's engines appear to be going down to idle. He does not even have his lights on except the formation lights. So let's hope that Lex makes it home safe. They must land safely for them to confirm winning the round. This is to make sure that players don't throw their lives away and spend all their fuel to win the fight, but not consider making it home. Careful balance of knowing how much fuel you need to make it back and how much you need to spend to win the match is an important part And whilst the process of making it back to base and landing might take a little while, it's an important part of the competition that determines whether or not these pilots have not only thought tactically about their fight, but also the all-important factor of fuel in any given aerial engagement. No, unfortunately they won't let me put stingers near the runway. Everything's looking good for Lex's lineup here, and may well be able to secure the match for BK. And there you have it. SU-27 safe and sound on the runway. And we even get the parachutes, just for good measure. Let's go and have a look at what FFCMF is up to. And while we do that, I'll just adjust the score. Okay. And there goes the third and final round of today's SATAC match between BK and Golden Crown. A terrific match. Everyone who took part in that was probably some of the best DCS that's been happening anywhere in the world in recent memory. Everyone involved ought to feel very proud, and all competitors, I think, ought to take enormous pride in their efforts during the match. You can see the landing lights casting their glow. And it looks like FFCMF going for the Afghan approach. Gorgeous, looking good, looking good. That's 2 down and safe as round 3 goes to BK. Safe. Excellent. Well, I was kind of hoping that someone would come and join in to have a talk with me as we watch the AWACS of SATAC flying through the sky. Someone should come and talk with me. I want someone to talk to. Alright, let's see if anyone joins in. If anyone from Golden Crown or BK is watching, you can find me in the SATAC Discord. And thank you for the follow, Herzen H. Thank you for all of the support that you guys have given me. Thank you for the subs and follows today, guys. It has been wonderful streaming the competition for you. Looks like we have someone from BK coming to join us shortly. Let's have a look at the TAC view. So, a big change in tactics between matches throughout each of the matches as they went on.
Hello.
Hello! Is this, well, I've been calling you FFCMF. What should I call you?
Yeah, CMF, that's right.
CMF? We've got Gerza and CMF from BK here. How are you guys feeling after that victory? That was a tough match. That was amazing. I don't know, I just haven't seen anything like it in ages. How are you guys feeling about it?
Как мы чувствуем себя после матча? We are okay, but a little bit tired. Our opponent was pretty well. There was intense fights, especially in the third round, when one of them entered our formation.
Yes, you managed to get an F-15 directly above Seraphim, Gerza, and Batove and managed to take out IAK in the middle of all of that. What was the problem? Was it communication or data link problems, or did you just not see it?
No, we have great communication. We understand each other even without words, but we saw on data link that he enters, but that he approaches, but we didn't see him with our sensors, and there was a bit dark this time, and we didn't see him visually too. So we just didn't see him. He entered our formation, killed our guy, and depart. So that was amazing.
Judging from his behavior, it was Helldog that managed to enter your formation. I don't think that he knew he was in the middle of your formation either. I think he realized a second too late, shot off a missile, and then left.
He's real Helldog.
Interesting map that we got as well. Ras versus Liwa in the Persian Gulf. Really, really flat. Once you guys realized that it was going to be really flat, did that change the way that you guys were going to approach this match? Instead of if you had like the Caucasus Mountains, for example.
We flew in such conditions, and we know how to fly it. We know how to defend missiles on such flat surface. So we were okay with this. And the only thing that was for us a difficulty was that the sun first and the third round was behind our opponents. So our heat-seeking missiles couldn't go on the sun.
That's where even little things like the coin flip for being able to pick starting side can make a big difference when you don't think about it. I know that you guys didn't want ECM for this match. Rather, did you guys want ECM or not want ECM for this one? I think it was Golden Crown that didn't want ECM for this match. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. We wanted ECM because our aircrafts sorry for my English.
That's okay, don't worry at all.
Rely on ECM. We use ECM every time, because if we go on high range missile shots, we must lock in STT our target, and he knows that we may shoot at him. But when we fight against F-15s and F-16s and F-18s, we don't know that they shoot at us. So we must make some maneuvers to predict dangerous missiles in far distances. So
Absolutely.
it's pretty hard for us to fly without ECM.
And yet you guys managed to cinch the win. In the second round, what happened in terms of fuel? Did the pilots just forget about it, or did they need to burn a little bit more to win the fight?
In such intense fights, we got no choice. So we have to fight till the end, and only after the fight we can maintain our fuel, but not in fight. So
Go ahead.
that was such situation that we couldn't save more fuel.
Absolutely. And it's especially difficult as well. Sorry, just had to respond to something. What was I going to say? I think that you guys just used up all of your fuel, so this would go 3 rounds because it was so much fun to watch. It was a really, really, really good match. I think you guys will really, really enjoy watching the TAC views and the VOD afterwards. It looks like Golden Crown isn't available at the moment, so I would like to say thank you very much for participating and for being here. BK, congratulations on the victory. And I'm sure you guys would much like to have a bit of a rest now. So if you have any last words you would like to say to the audience, please go ahead. It's all yours.
Oh, thank you, Show, for streaming, for such nice words about us, about this fight. And we want to thank our opponents, Golden Crown. Thank you, guys. That was very well fights, very good fights. So we were lucky today. That's all.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, BK. Congratulations on the victory. And have a very good evening.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. What an absolutely spectacular match. Thank you very much for being here, and well done to BK and Golden Crown. Both teams, I think, coming out of this with absolutely spectacular fights taking place on all sides, and a really, really special day of fighting. Okay, that's where we wrap it up for today, but don't worry, I'll be back at the same time tomorrow to cast the match between 179th Dogs from the USA and the Persian Air Force from Iran. And 81 Banana at 1500 Zulu will be streaming Honkai Destruction Armor facing off against Dark Raven. Other than that, that's as far as we go for today. I wish to have a good weekend for all of you. I just forgot that it was Saturday again. It's Friday. I forgot that it was Friday again. I'll see you on Saturday. Thanks, guys. And please excuse me if the VOD takes a little bit longer to put up because I accidentally revealed something I shouldn't have at the start of the stream. And I will just need a moment to cut it out. Thanks, guys, and have a very good evening. Good night.